The aha moment, drove the great game of business learning process because the people weren't ready to really understand those financials, okay? And this blew me away because these financials were invented in the year 1453, okay? Think about this, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, these financial statements have affected billions and billions of people's lives, and so few people can read them. So few people. I would tell you, I think that the economic meltdown that we're experiencing today is because of economic literacy, all right? Literacy. Because we allowed somebody else to read something that is basically simple, that hasn't changed since 1453, okay? I mean, it's like all of a sudden there was this mass society that figured out a way to keep people from understanding these things, and it could virtually take their lives away, right? So what we done, we just saw a simple path to success. The simple path to success was, why not open the books? Why not show them? Now the first thing was, they said, you're crazy. I'm here work 40 hours a week. You don't think we should do this stuff. You know, I had Benita Reed, if some of you know Benita, came to my office, and the financials were open. She ran out of the organization. I'm like, Department, I said, why are you running? She said, because I'm not allowed to see these financial statements. Okay? It was like she's going to turn into a pillar of salt if she saw these financial statements. Think about, you know, like when you go out and you're buying something, and doing your pricing right on the spot, and having your margins and figuring out your turnovers, right? Those things are vital to the success of businesses today in order for those things to keep succeeding. And the failure rate of businesses is so terrible. It's just astounding. I think last year in the SBA said there was something like 650,000 businesses that started, 590,000 businesses failed. Think about that. 650 start, 590 fail. Why do they fail? All right? Because I don't think we teach capital. Because I don't think we teach people, all of us, and all of us are businesses. And you know, that's if he says that's why we think differently. Okay, maybe it's the lazy business person to getting to what you think is important. And I think what's important is not building the great tractor, but building a great company that sustains over a long period of time. Then once you try to people that have the same values and the same dreams that you have, you know, capital seems to be an easy one in a high growth company, okay? I mean, that seems to be readily easy to identify. You know, if you're sweating the bills and you're barely making payments and you're always trying to add a franchise fee in order to be able to grow the type of business, you're on a merry-go-round, right? But in reality, you know, there is a point where you do get critical mass and you can't get off the merry-go-round, but it may take you access to that capital. If that's the problem, you'll find the cheapest capital that you can find without having to give everything away. Too often what happens is private guys like you know, end up giving so much away because you think your problem is so great, right? But a person I think that has good values, a person that is a really sophisticated, smart investor who wants to see you succeed, is not going to try to, you know, screw you out of everything that you've worked for to get it to this particular point. Bo calls the position that an entrepreneur is that lack of capital, he calls it no man's land. And no man's land is when you've been tapped out of your credit cards, you're tapped out of your bank loans, you've been doing the same thing for 5, 10, 15 years, you can't take it to another level because you're constantly in no man's land. Both figures that maybe 60% of the small businesses their entire life spend time in no man's land. They can't get out. Okay.
I'll start with this way. Number one, never do it if it's going to jeopardize the foundation of your business. Now, I can give you that advice because remember the company took from $0 to $140 million. That's exactly what I did. I went beyond my reach. So if you have a good business and you're able to do that to get to the next stage, what I would do is make sure I have separate money and separate things and don't jeopardize what I have already. And then you can do that. The second thing, and Jack does it perfectly, and he's your mentor, and he's the guy to ask, and I do it too from within, is develop talent within. People know how you operate. They want to operate a similar way. And so if you develop the talent from within. You move those people along, and you separate the businesses, and Jack can probably answer this better. Take those people and start a whole new division to go outside of where you are now. And that's what I would do. And I think a good plan to do it, making sure that you don't jeopardize what you have.